Hi, it's Loren Lockman from the Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica, and I have been asked to address a question which I've probably spoken about before, but it comes up a lot, and it's understandable why it does. And this is a question about culinary herbs. Is it okay to use culinary herbs, to eat these? Parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme, cilantro, peppermint, any of these plants. So one of the things you want to understand, and we've talked about this before, but just a reminder, every plant on the planet wants to survive. Okay? There's no kamikaze plants that I know of. Right? There's no plants that grow up and say, when I get bigger, I want to be someone's food. I want to die. Because that's what happens when we eat plants. We kill them. We pull them out of the ground, we eat them, we kill them. They're dead. They can't reproduce, and that's what they want to do. So they don't want to die, they want to survive. And in order to better ensure their survival, what all the herb plants, what we call herbs, what these plants have in common is they make strong substances, alkaloids, which give them their characteristic smells and tastes. And they make these alkaloids to protect themselves. And the crazy thing is we come along and say, that smells good, I think I'll eat that. Okay? Now, we're not their primary predator. Who is? Insects are their primary predator. And so the plants don't have to be as toxic, given that most insects are, 1/1,000,000th your size in terms of mass, right? I mean, they're a tiny fraction of our body mass. And so it doesn't take so much poison to deter the insect. Now, I've shared this before, but I'll share it again here. It was after I moved to Panama, one of my first real good friends there, and still a close friend in Panama, I'll be seeing soon, was an organic farmer. And I hired Tomas to help educate my gardeners and me about some of the things we could do, because he'd been living off the land for 40 years, and is a walking encyclopedia. And he said, here's your tomatoes. The wind comes up the mountain this way. He said, plant basil here. And I said, I don't eat basil. And he said, it's not for you. I said, who's it for? He said, it's for the tomatoes. I said, I'm pretty sure the tomatoes don't eat basil either. And he said, no, the scent of the wind will blow the scent of the basil over the tomato plants, and the insects will leave the tomatoes alone. Insects will not eat these herbs, these culinary herbs, because they're poisonous. Okay? They are poisonous to you and I too. However, if you eat a tiny little bit, you may never notice. Now, the cleaner your body is, the more you may notice it. Okay? The cleaner your system is that a bad thing? What do you think? Well, it depends. Do you want to function at a really high level? Your more sensitive body will alert you to what does and doesn't belong. We'll be able to tell you how you're doing in real time in a way that most people's bodies, they're never going to get that message from their body. Okay? So, and if you're not clear about this, or maybe you don't believe me, here's a simple experiment. Okay? When you get home, I want you to go get a whole bunch of organic basil. Okay? And have a basil salad. Not a little bit of basil in your salad. Make the salad basil. No lettuce, just basil leaves with some tomatoes. Okay? And eat a whole big bowl of that like you would a big salad. I promise you, you will not feel well afterward. You will feel sick. Why? Because basil is toxic. Now, if you want to eat a tiny bit of it to flavor something every once in a while, that's okay. What I said to Adriana is, when you leave here, right, you guys have invested a significant amount of time, and for some of you, a significant amount of money to be here to give your body a chance to cleanse and heal itself. What I'd encourage you to do, strongly encourage you to do, is to follow the 6-week plan after you're done. Okay? Give your body this chance to really continue on this journey, because you're not even going to know for 6 weeks after you get home just what you've accomplished here. You won't know everything until 6 weeks out. So do that. After that point, if you feel ready, like you've already gotten to the place you think you can get to that's as good as it's going to get, you can try if you want. Occasionally eating some culinary herbs. You can do it occasionally. What you will probably find is, every time you do it, it'll have a negative impact. It'll be small. Okay? I mentioned in Spanish, we had a special dinner last night. It included some of these things. I'm feeling it. You're feeling it too. We're both feeling it, okay? It's okay. It's okay to do that every once in a while if you want to. I mean, it's like there's no, who's going to judge? It's not wrong or right. The point is, if you're trying to take your health to the highest level possible, you might not want to make compromises until you get there. Now, once you get there and you're cruising along, feeling and functioning super, super well, it's not a big deal. It's a little bump in the road. Your body will correct itself pretty quickly. Okay? So you can do it every once in a while. It won't have a big impact. If you're still trying to get there, you might not want to be doing that. All right? But every once in a while, it's probably okay. Now, I said earlier, everything that we call herbs is doing this. So medicinal herbs are the same. The difference is greater toxicity. Think about this. I mean, and it's funny because I've got herbalists, including a big name herbalist, who's calling me all kinds of names in a video and telling me I don't know what I'm talking about because God made herbs to heal our bodies. Okay, whatever. I don't want to step on your toes. If that's your belief, that's okay. But they are poisonous substances, and this is why most herbalists would tell you that. Yeah, that's why there's a maximum dosage. Herbalists will tell you can take this herb, but only take this quantity. You can't eat as much of it as you want. Can you? Anyone have experience with medicinal herbs? Anyone ever used them?
How about lemongrass? Is that a medicinal herb?
It's a culinary herb. So it's a lower level of toxicity. Or maybe what it means is no one's discovered any medicinal benefits of lemongrass. Maybe that's what makes a medicinal herb medicinal. If you consume it, your body reacts in a way that gives you symptomatic relief with particular symptoms. Maybe no one's ever discovered a medicinal purpose for lemongrass, so it's a culinary herb. The ones that give you some medicinal benefit, that is to say, a symptom goes away when you use it, those are called medicinal herbs. But I hope it's apparent. I mean, you guys, how many of you are not clear that your body cleanses and heals itself? I mean, I hope you guys are clear about that by now. You've been through this process. You've seen amazing things happen, yes. You've seen amazing things happen, yes. You've seen amazing things happen, yes. You've seen amazing things happen. Most of you can say, I've seen amazing things happen. I know my body is cleansing itself. Substances don't cleanse or heal the body. They don't do that. Right? That's what the herbalists will tell you. No, this herb will heal your body. Little Freudian slip, I started to say drug. Drugs and herbs aren't that different. Where did all the drugs originally come from? They took herbs and they extracted the specific ingredients to make them more potent. Well, how come drugs are toxic if the herbs they came from aren't? Where does the toxicity come from? Herbs are toxic. It's completely disingenuous to say they're not. Okay, herbalists who say they're not toxic, they are liars or fools. I mean, they're working with something they don't understand. This stuff is poison. If you use too much of any medicinal herb, you will get sick. And that's why there's always a maximum dosage or a maximum number of days in a row you can use that substance. Okay? These are poisonous substances. So let's start by just admitting what's true. They're poisonous. Now, the next question is, how can something toxic heal your body? Can anybody tell me how that's possible? I mean, I know lots of things that are toxic, like gasoline, rat poison, cyanide. You think these things are going to heal you somehow? They can heal the disease called life. They can cure you of that, right? They can make that go away, but they're not. How can they make you better if they're poisonous? They don't. Just as all drugs are poisonous. We have a near doctor over here, almost finished medical school. Are drugs toxic or not? Yeah? Are you sure? Is this an opinion or is this a fact? The fact is that all pharmaceuticals are poisonous. They're all poisonous. Okay? Remember, drugs came originally from herbs. Okay? all medicinal substances are toxic to the body. Do drugs heal you? Are you sure? Drugs don't heal you. What do they do then? They treat or suppress symptoms. They make you feel better. How many of you have been on drugs, prescription drugs? Many of you have. With many conditions, you know, at our age, a lot of people are hypertensive, and they're given a prescription which they're told they're going to need for a while, right? A while? Like a month? A year? For the rest of their life. Isn't that not an admission this isn't going to heal you? They have no way to heal hypertension. What they're saying is, we can manage the symptoms so you feel better. Okay? They don't heal you ever. You never get off them. They don't statistically increase the lifespan of one person in one day. Statistically, they have no impact on lifespan. They're poisonous. They make you depressed, and they make you stupid. And some people don't need any help. Okay? Right? They don't need to be taking something to increase something they're already really good at. So these things aren't making anyone better. They're only treating symptoms. Herbs are no different. Okay? If you want to feel better at the expense of your health because they're actually impeding the body's ability to heal itself, you can use them, but they're never healing you.